I like, click, subscribe, do all that. You already know what time it is. It's Netflix time. This movie's called Mile 22. An officer in a top secret CIA unit leads his team in escorting a prized intelligence asset to safety when enemy forces hot on their trail. So it's an action adventure movie that came out 2018. It's about an hour and a half long. Spoiler alert, let's get it. So it starts off as a nice little friendly neighborhood. Got Alice. Everybody knows her from The Walking Dead, though. Well, anyway, they're supposed to be figuring out if they're at the right house or not. They had this back and forth argument trying to figure this out. But as they show around the back of the house, you has all these hazardous cans under the canopy and whatnot. You got this shipping crate containing who knows what. In the background, you got Jimmy with a sniper rifle. Yeah, Mr. Funky Bunch himself. Ronda Rousey went for fighting niggas, they're shooting niggas. Well, apparently they're definitely at the right house because they got this whole tactical team looking at the house. So as we learned, it's a sting operation and they reportedly had 5 people in the house. They got helicopters overhead, so clearly this ain't no regular SWAT shit. So as you can tell, the couple coming to the door is basically just a decoy. And as he's talking, he ends up throwing a smoke bomb in there. And they pretty much secure the area. See, the people in this house are Russian spies, but they're actually in a Russian safe house. They're looking for some equipment, but more specifically, they're really looking for something called celsium. Now, what is celsium? Now, it's supposed to be some type of atomic chemical element. It's like a silver, extremely reactive metal. But in this movie, it's explained that it can kill thousands of people within minutes. If in the wrong hands, of course. So they caught 5 suspects. They thought the place was secure, but come to find out, they think it's a 6th suspect there. They said the suspect was on the 2nd floor in a room to the left, but there's no door there. Come to find out, this motherfucker's hiding inside the wall. Alice gets blasted to the other side of the wall. Luckily, she had her vest on. Everybody goes crazy, and the SWAT team got to murk niggas. One of them tried to escape out the window, but good old Jimmy was there waiting on him. Finished him off in broad daylight, done deal dead. Then they went around back, got the hell up out of there. Then we get the report on the news. They talked about the bodies they highlighted in the house, but they only highlighted this kid. Why was he so important out of everybody else? That'll come up later. Backstory on Jimmy. He's very high strung, he's had anger issues, he's incredibly smart. He lost his mom and both of his siblings in a car accident, and he was in critical condition also. He was lucky to survive. Works for the CIA and is generally just pissed off at the world. And every time he can feel himself getting pissed off, he's always snapping his band. And trust me, he does this throughout the entire movie. So now he's pissed off at Alice because they didn't find any information on the Cencium because the information came from her contacts. Then he's instructed to talk to some lady from the embassy. Talking about she's going to lose out on $1.3 billion. Talking about she knows Warren Buffett and all this shit. But then he actually schools her or what he likes to go by now. And then he lives in a whole different country, all this other stuff. Meanwhile, Alex is talking to her ex-husband and she can't see her daughter. Stressful life being in the CIA, huh? Let's just say she's very irritated. She kind of has a bit of Jimmy's tendencies when it comes to her anger issues, honestly. Meanwhile, Russian intel's been keeping up with everything that's been going on too. The question is, are they watching Jimmy and the boys or are they watching somebody else? Wish I can give you more information on that, but unfortunately the subtitles didn't come up on their scenes. This lady becomes real important towards the end of the movie. Now, of course, Jimmy and the crew getting a briefing from their boss, obviously. He's not a happy camper. Then Jimmy and Alice get one-on-one time. Because of their dispositions, he's closer to her than anybody else on the team. And then every now and then throughout the movie, he's narrating the situation piece by piece. Then this guy named Nemore comes to the gate of the embassy. I'm not sure if he's on the phone, a key card, or something like that. But basically, he goes there to turn himself in. But why? Okay, so the situation is that card that he was holding has information to 5 places to where the celsium is. In exchange, he wants to get out the country and get back to the United States. Boss, like, you do realize if you take this as an off-duty assignment. Discreet stuff and all that. Board meeting. Now, they got people there that's trying to crack the code. Meanwhile, the thing is, they don't have a whole lot of time. They only have 8 hours. If they don't crack it within then, whatever's on that card is going to be eaten away like a virus. So then he gets tested, put under a lie detector test, all this stuff. He's got these other guys watching over him, but then he looks down and notices this insignia on his boot. Oh, shit, this doctor trying to get you done, son. So basically, he's ended up fighting all these people, handcuffed to the bed and all this shit. While all that's going on, the Prime Minister wants them to give up Lee. But Jimmy's like, fuck all that, we ain't doing that. You can tell it's about to be beef. Then at the erect shop, they calm him down. And they thought he was a low-level cop? Yeah, okay. Yeah, people tried to work to get in the embassy to kill him. I'm pretty sure he's far from a low-tier level cop. Especially with information about celsium and all this other stuff. So basically now they gotta get the team together and get it within a plane with 22 miles of here within 22 minutes. So now they riding on the streets, they got the overhead comms running, when all of a sudden they got 7 bikes behind them. So they looking through the overhead and all of a sudden the overhead head starts cutting out. He's like, what the fuck? And he's like, that shouldn't even be possible unless they have a huge transmitter dislocating their system. Conflicted with the signal, I mean. Turns out they missed the part where they put a tracker on the side of the car, but it's not a tracker. It was a fucking bomb. Shit blows the side of the car, Ronda Rousey's fur, goddammit. And now it's time to take it to the streets. Mayhem taking place and all that. Ronda Rousey messed up too bad. Jimmy gonna let her go out like a G. Gives her 2 grenades. It's like, man, you already know what time it is. They get the car, everybody dips out, they still delivering the package. 2 of them got us surrounded, you already know what time it is. Done to done. Then they skirt around some corners and get to a safe house, or a garage anyway, which transforms into a bagel shop, and guess who's there on the outside? This nigga here has been leading the troops on trying to get Lee back by any means necessary. But as he gets back in there, they realize there's a bomb in there. It's like, oh shit, mayhem happening. The other man's got fucked up, but he can still walk. They go out the back and get loose, and he ended up having to go in this high-rise building. His legs all messed up, but he's gonna protect her from the outside. He's got plenty of ammo, ammunition, and guns, but he ain't gonna last long against like 50 million of his niggas. He got a good 30 heads, but after that, he was done deal. Once they're inside, it becomes Mayhem City. Because of the shootout, and Alice gets separated from Jimmy and Lee. Now he's gotta leave, but he's gotta make a decision. He's like, man, we gotta get out of here. The plane's gonna leave in like 10 minutes. Jimmy's like, fuck that, I'm not leaving Alice. We're gonna get her. Then this big dude comes out of nowhere and finds Alice. She plays the innocent role like she's like, I have a daughter and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, she's got a shard of glass behind her back and stabs him straight in the neck with it. It was a back and forth, and just when he was about to choke her out, Lee comes out of nowhere and saves the day. They murked a bunch of heads in the building, got themselves a truck, and now they heading to the airport. And here comes old dude standing in their way again. So he's like, you know what, fuck this clown, give me that airstrike. Then all of a sudden this plane comes out of nowhere. Boy, Jimmy gives the signal. He don't know what the fuck about to happen. Missile comes out of nowhere and blows him the fuck up. You out of here, son? Yeah! They cut it real close, but they finally made it to the plane. Then he finally gives them the code to the card. He stopped at counter with like really 2 minutes to spare. And it pulls up 5 locations on the cesium, but at the beginning I thought it was 6. And Alice is getting on the plane with Lee too. She's got about 6 days. So remember when I said the Russians were tracking Jimmy and his crew too? Turns out they were tracking Lee also. And remember I said she was going to be important later on in the end of this movie? Well, it turns out it started decoding something else. Turns out when they decoded the key card, the code was in Russian. Turns out Lee is not a double agent, he's a triple agent. He's actually working for the Russians. It was all set up right from the get-go. Alright, so remember the boy that was killed earlier with the 6 other people in that Russian safe house? Turns out this powerful leader was the boy's mom. And the information they were really getting was on their tactical ops. So after hearing this, Jimmy's like, yo, we gotta get him off the fucking plane. But it's too late for that shit. The Russians came through and laced the whole team. They all got done. And as for Alice, they never said what happened to Alice, but in this situation, they basically killed the wrong kid. They activated him to set up some situation called Overwatch. Lee was basically in a position to make Jimmy and his crew trust him, but ironically, he did it for the sole purpose of getting rid of all of them. We don't know what happened to Alice, but we do know Jimmy was still alive. It's hard to really narrate the specific dialogue when it comes to tactical SWAT teams and whatnot. I mean, if you're into politics and government issues and things of that nature, then, you know, have at it. But it's got a lot of action too. I mean, so there you go. Mile 22 on Netflix. Check it out. Like, click, subscribe, do all that. You already know what time it is. Like, easy, all the easy, best. Big. He got that slogan.